St Leonard's Road back there, Dr. Bernardo lived in St Leonard's Road. It was his home and family home for years on the famous Bernardo's home. His actual house, of course, demolished, but somewhere up there is a plaque that marks the Bernardo. So weird that he was made homeless. But yeah, so there's a plaque up there that marks it. Here we hit the start of what were the original open-cast talcum mines. Those people who know their history will remember the Great Leak Famine, which actually led to many Welsh people having to evacuate. One family came to see the knobs, and it was their daughter Lily who was out playing when she discovered the white chalky substance and went back. And as a result of that, the entire quarrying industry was named, started here, and talcum powder was exported all around the world from here. And indeed, one brand of talc was named after her, Lily from the Valley, and that still thrives to today. So these actual open cast, then obviously quarrying, unfortunately due to capitalism, it was killed in this area. I'm not naming names, let's just say that happened. But as a result of it, they filled with water and now represent some of the finest open cast talcum mine reservoirs in the country. Now there's another version of this, which is actually was the Chelsea Waterworks. And these filter beds that we're going to walk past now were developed by an engineer called James Simpson. Simpson was a fantastic innovator. He created the form of separation of water, which is basically through fine shale, fine sand, to rougher shale, to what were crushed oyster shells, and then to pipes with holes in which drained it out. It's still used today, that system created by Simpson. What's amazing was he couldn't work out, or nobody could, until it was discovered what bacteria did, why it worked so efficiently. If you've ever driven along Sunbury and seen the waterworks, sometimes when they drain them, there's a green algae which they scrape off. That algae is actually a bacterial filter, and it forms as part of the water, and it was that was purifying. The weird bit is, water at that point was privatised. There were competing companies in London, and they actually used to be, the colour of the water was one of the things that they sold as being good. So murky water was seen to be full of goodness. They had no idea that clean was good. So it's really interesting. We'll go further up to talk about the Lambeth filter beds as we get nearer that end. But do just take a moment, because these have become beautiful reservoirs, beautiful areas for ecology, actually the finest in southwest London. I'm not going to dwell on the politics of it, but they are now under threat of being smashed apart and developed by a developer who is purporting to give us a wetland centre, which will be the equivalent of this tiny bit up here, and will be home to, because of the number of people living here, actually the sort of wildlife you get anywhere. At the moment, this is the home to 7 species of very rare bats, and an ecology of bird life which is second to none in the borough and beyond. But do just take a moment, because until you've walked it, I don't think you've got an idea of the scale of what is here.